This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.
Hello, I'm Faye Fredericks with your top stories from ABC 15 Arizona. As we close out the final days of 2020, a new dire warning about the COVID-19 crisis in Arizona. A University of Arizona researcher who's been tracking the pandemic now says a major humanitarian crisis is all but locked in for us between Christmas and New Year's. Our death toll likely to increase to hundreds per week, and this modeler says they're all preventable. Holiday travel and social gatherings also expected to contribute to our rising cases. The latest report also finds viral transmission is going up across Arizona. The report also urges a statewide shelter in place and a statewide mask mandate now. Otherwise, our hospitals won't be able to treat all the new cases. Today, we added 7,700 new coronavirus cases in Arizona. Mondays, typically low reporting days as labs catch up from the weekend. But for the second time, we have a high number of new cases. Arizona also closing in on 8,000 COVID-related deaths since the pandemic started. But there is a glimmer of hope as COVID-19 vaccines reach more and more people across our state. Dignity Health opening its vaccination pod for healthcare workers at Chandler Gilbert Community College. Also, staff at the long-term care facility Quail Park at Morrison Ranch started getting their vaccines today. Spending millions on personal protective equipment. New details tonight. According to a new report by the Associated Press, Arizona spent $59 million in the early months of the pandemic on things like masks, gowns, and gloves. However, according to this report, the prices ranged widely, with nearly 20 million N95 masks bought. Prices ranged anywhere from 78 cents a mask to more than $5. We're also learning more about the financial state of education in Arizona. More than a dozen school districts in Arizona facing financial troubles. According to the state auditor general, at least 13 school districts are at risk of not being able to operate fully because they've already exceeded their budget limits or have negative cash balances. The Tucson Unified School District is the largest on the list. 3 other districts are in the Metro Phoenix area, while the rest are in rural parts of our state. If these districts don't make budget cuts or find new revenue sources, the Arizona State Board of Education could appoint a receiver to temporarily make all financial decisions. Closure extended. Havasupai Falls has been closed to visitors since March 16th due to the threat of COVID-19 infections to tribal members in that remote canyon. And they won't be opening for the foreseeable future. The Havasupai Tribal Council passing a resolution to indefinitely extend the closure to the waterfalls. According to an email announcement, tribal members are observing CDC guidelines regarding travel and quarantines, and no cases of COVID-19 have been reported in Supai Village. Been a rough year for those in the tourism and hospitality industry, workers and business owners alike. But the silver lining, more locals are making short trips in our state, and that's led to a new campaign for Arizona. City, state, and national parks are seeing an increase in people traveling to these outdoor spaces. Appreciate AZ is an educational campaign targeting local travelers, educating people about safety on hiking trails, how to care for the land, and what to pack.
Many of our smaller communities depend on tourism for their tax revenue, for jobs. And from my standpoint, obviously, we always want to talk about safe and responsible travel, but I also want to make sure that people do have jobs and that people can support their families.
They say it's a balancing act with health and safety top of mind, and the campaign can be dialed back if health concerns become an even bigger issue. They plan to keep the campaign running throughout the year.
Tracking your forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Amber Sellens, and it is a warm start to Christmas week here in the Valley. Highs hit the mid-70s today, and tomorrow, low 70s back in the forecast. There's a look at your Valley planner. Still a chilly start, 40s early on, 50 degrees by 9 a.m., and then we'll be in the mid-60s by noon tomorrow. Phoenix going up to 71 tomorrow afternoon, and highs in the mid-70s from Lake Havasu City down into Yuma, and also down to our south in Tucson tomorrow. Up north, highs in the 50s along the rim, and looking a little bit lower as we approach Christmas Day. Here in Phoenix, 69 degrees, 56 in Prescott, and 48 in Shola, with Flagstaff at 46 on Christmas. There's the next 7 days for you. Got some clouds coming in Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but it doesn't look like we'll see any rain until maybe early next week. A slight chance now in play in your forecast next Monday.
This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.